Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Thursday edition of Prime News on my major prime. We are live from Douala. My name is Genda Peldrin Blanche King. Torrential rains and wild winds in Douala, the economic capital of Cameroon, has destroyed the roof of some classrooms at Government Bilingual High School, Mabanda. The students have barely a month to the end of a year or end of course examinations. Eileen Sama has details in the following report.
Government Bilingual High School Mabanda is among the first, if not the very first school this rainy season to suffer the effects of the heavy rains and winds. Tuesday's wild wind and rain ripped off the roofs of a number of classrooms in the school, especially those of Premier, Terminal, Form 5 and Upper 6. When the students of Lycée Mabanda got to school on Wednesday morning, they were shocked when they realized that the roofs of their classrooms were ripped off by the wild winds and they had to stay outside, missing classes the entire day, as planks and zincs now occupied their classrooms as well as their benches being destroyed by the winds. This is happening barely a month before the GCE and equivalent exams in the Francophone subsystem of education and could be detrimental to the success of these students. It is worth noting also that houses which share boundary with GBHS or Lycée Mabanda also suffer the aftermath of the wild winds and rains which brought down their roofs, especially the houses made of plank, locally called carabode. It is worth recalling that Mabanda, a quarter in Bonaberi, Douala 4 municipality, is among the quarters in Douala which suffers most during the rainy season, as heavy rains usually flood most areas, destroying properties and even claiming lives on a yearly basis. While students of Lycée Mabanda practically walk in rain, water or flood to get to their school or even get stuck at home or school, sometimes when the rains and floods are severe.
An accident which occurred yesterday along the Bonaberi stretch of a road left a lady unconscious and several others injured. The accident involved a white Corolla vehicle and a taxi. It has been blamed on overspeeding and recklessness on the part of the Corolla or the driver in the Corolla vehicle, who took off almost immediately, abandoning the lady who was with him in an unconscious state. According to witnesses, the two vehicles involved had a head-on collision, getting vehicle screens and bumpers shattered beyond repairs. The new Secretary General of the Bamenda City Council, Madam Suli Kwatila Nabella, has been challenged to work closely with the staff of the City Council for the welfare of the council. During the installation, the Bamenda City Mayor, Paul Achumbong, announced a presidential grant worth 100 million francs CFA to the council for the acquisition of new transport buses to facilitate movement within the city of Bamenda. Charles Kibwa has more.
The pioneer female Secretary General to the Bamenda City Council had been commissioned into office. The installation ritual May 5, 2021 at the Bamenda City Council Plaza, Mesam SDO Simomo Emil, performing the installation ritual, challenged the new Secretary General, Madam Suli Kwatila Epusevedzem Annabella, to work closely with the staff of the City Council for the welfare of the council, construct more sheds at the food market as well as the Mile 4 market, and improve on the transport section. The new Secretary General is a holder of a degree in history and public law and had served previously in the Ministry of Public Works and Decentralization.
I still believe strongly that we are going to work ahead, and for us to succeed, we need team spirit, work collectively and try not to backbite, because when we have a media where we work and people try to blackmail others, we will not succeed.
During the installation, Bamenda City Mayor Paul Achumbong announced a presidential financial grant worth 100 million francs CFA has been offered to the Bamenda City Council to acquire new transport buses to facilitate movement in the city. Certificate certificates of recognition were given to some workers to encourage them of their services offered the city council.
Some 1,600 people have been treated of COVID-19 at the Bamenda Regional Hospital. This information was made public by the director of the hospital, Dr. Denis Nsame, who was called on the population to take into consideration all anti-COVID-19 measures instituted by the government and World Health Organization, insisting on the need to get vaccinated. The Bamenda Regional Hospital has already vaccinated about 400 persons. Charles Kebwa completes this story in the following report.
Some 1,600 people have been treated of COVID-19 at the treatment center at the Bamenda Regional Hospital. This information was made known to the public by the director of the Regional Hospital Bamenda, Dr. Denis Nsame. The director of the hospital regrets the fact that some 91 lives were lost because of the virus, 40 of whom are from the community because they were running away from the hospital.
Now we've had more than 1,600 people with COVID-19 who have been treated. And among these 1,600, I think it's unfortunate that we lost 91 people in our treatment center here. And out of these 91 who died, 40 of them died in the community. We diagnosed bed on the corpse. So meaning that people were running from the hospital and then they come here and die and they say we killed them. So we're telling the population COVID-19 is real. It's actually killing so many people.
The director called on the population to respect all barrier measures against COVID-19 and go for their vaccination, as the hospital has vaccinated some 400 persons already.
I'm telling our dear population that the Regional Hospital Bamenda is a hospital of the people. It's not the hospital of Dr. Denis Nsame, it's not the hospital of Econom Fung John, but it's a hospital of the people, and we are just servants. I think we are just serving our population and telling them that now we've had more than 1,600 people with COVID-19. COVID-19 is real. It's actually killing so many people. And so we are very happy. Very soon the country representative of WHO will be coming to see our vaccination site. Because up to now we have vaccinated more than 400 people have come to vaccinate. Care staff as well as the community. We are vaccinating now the other part of the community, and we're telling them to come. This is the number one arm to fight COVID.
The Regional Hospital Bamenda, it should be noted, has a staff strength of 510 persons, 37 of whom are doctors, and is the People's Hospital.
Moyoka Council has adopted over 500 million francs CFA as budget for the year 2020, more than half of the projected income for the council. The budget, according to Mayor Landino Lazar, indicates a slight increase in the execution rate of activities following the gradual return of calm in Moyoka, one of the hardest hit affected by the ongoing socio-political crisis in the country. Crise in the following report.
For the past 4 years, the Moyoka Council has been badly hit by the ongoing security crisis, rocking the southwest and northwest regions of Cameroon, as many of the council projects were put on standby.
I think I wish to extend sincere words of gratitude to the Lord Mayor of Moyoka Council and the councillors who have gone through all the odds to ensure that they carry out their activities for the interest of the Moyoka people. You bear with me that this council, the doors of this council have been shut down for a while because of the crisis that we all know. You also bear with me that Moyoka is one of the subdivisions that is greatly hit by the council, by the crisis. But the mayor and his entourage took all the odds to ensure that they open the doors of the council and thereby bring in administration closer to the council.
Today, however, relative calm is gradually returning to Moyoka during this first ordinary session of the 2021 financial year, set aside to evaluate the administrative, management and stores account of the Moyoka Council for the year 2020. It was revealed by Mayor Lazar that 65% of its projects were executed, amounting to over 50 million francs CFA, more than half of the projected income for the Moyoka Council for the year 2020.
The village is there. People, the population, they are drinking water. The supply of the materials at the women's empowerment here in Owerut.
Cognizant with the challenges facing the council, the divisional officer of Moyoka subdivision, who presided over this budgetary session that held in Moyoka, enjoined the councillors to maintain the steam and throw their full support and collaboration to the mayor for better days ahead for the Moyoka municipality. Meanwhile, it was also resolved that more training should be organized for councillors, as the council remains one of the agents for the effective implementation of the decentralization process.
Kmer Windim Rudolph has been installed as the 4th Deputy Mayor of the Tiko Council. The oath-taking ceremony took place at the Court of First Instance in Tiko. He will work closely with his collaborators and the population to ensure the growth and development of the municipality. Details with Kumono Rimbo.
Mayor Kmer Windim Rudolph has been sworn in as the 4th Deputy Mayor of Tiko Council. He was sworn in during an oath-taking ceremony that took place at the Tiko Court of First Instance in the presence of administrative, judiciary, and political figures of Tiko subdivision. Mayor Kmer Windim Rudolph was elected during an extraordinary session which took place on the 17th of April 2021 after the 2nd Deputy Mayor Ali Issa dropped a resignation letter on the 15th of December 2020. While commissioning the 4th Deputy Mayor into office, the President of the Court of First Instance Tiko reminded him of the importance of an oath-taking ceremony while cautioning him to carry out his duty in respect of the law of the state.
Cited by the Benin State Council is that Kmer Windim Rudolph is hereby authorized to take oath of office.
On his part, Mayor Kmer Windim Rudolph promised to be loyal to the state and assist the mayor and his deputies succeed in the mission assigned to them. He promised to do his job wholeheartedly as a servant-oriented leader.
I think and I do believe with the vision that the Lord Mayor has for the municipality, we shall all work together hand in glove. I personally, I really took my commitment on that and maybe my whole self and time for that. So I'll be very loyal to his instructions and the duties that he will apportion to me.
Mayor Kmer Windim Rudolph is a graduate from the University of Yaoundé in 1989. He is a seasoned educationist with a great mastery of the subject geography, which earned him the rank of a principal of Somerset Bilingual College, Boya. He is also a politician, married, and a father of many children.
You're watching for 6:30 Prime News on My Media Prime. Regional Delegation of Transport in the East, in partnership with unions and driving schools, has launched a campaign to raise awareness for the obtention of Category A driving license, as well as storage underground transport agencies in the East. Our reporter Jean Didier compiled the following in the French language.
Le délégué régional des transports terrestres de l'Est, Paul Bia, qui vient de prendre fonction dans la région de l'Est, a entamé un vaste chantier de contrôle des agences de voyage clandestines, ainsi que la réforme du permis de conduire catégorie A. Dans une région située sur la route internationale numéro 11, desservant les corridors Douala-Bangui et Douala-Djamena, il était plus que jamais nécessaire d'assainir ce secteur.
Les véhicules peuvent passer au contrôle technique dans tous les centres du pays, pas seulement à l'Est. Il faut également signaler que le centre qui est implanté à l'Est pour procéder au contrôle n'est pas encore débordé par le travail ou par la demande. Donc nous pensons que ça ne peut pas constituer une raison valable pour ces usagers de la route qui ne voudraient pas en ils ne voudraient pas passer au contrôle.
Parmi les chantiers les plus urgents, celui des mototaxis reste préoccupant. En effet, plus de 25% des conducteurs d'engins en deux roues ne disposent pas de permis de conduire. Pire encore, les 80% de ceux disposant du précieux sésame l'ont obtenu d'une manière informelle à travers des centrales syndicales qui organisent des sessions de permis de conduire en partenariat avec la délégation régionale des transports de l'Est.
Cette campagne, effectivement, contribue aussi à lutter contre l'insécurité, à donner le permis de conduire à ceux-là seulement qui maîtrisent la conduite parce qu'on s'est rendu compte que moins de 20% de motos de la semaine n'ont pas de permis et donc ils sont dans l'illégalité, ils sont dans la clandestinité et alors il était nécessaire pour nous de lancer une campagne de promotion et d'acquisition de permis de conduire qui est bien évidemment soutenue par la délégation régionale des transports pour l'Est.
La campagne de sensibilisation sur l'obtention du permis de conduire catégorie A, qui se poursuit dans la ville de Bétois, viendra à coup sûr booster les mototaximens de Bétois à s'arrimer à la donne.
Les sensibilisations se poursuivent et le nombre de pourcentages, je crois que nous sommes à 60%.
Bon à savoir, la ville de Bétois, qui connaît désormais un véritable boom, avec des projets CDD qui ont permis la construction pour cette première phase d'environ 15 km de route, ainsi que la pose de feux tricolores dans les principaux carrefours, a besoin de automobilistes et motocyclistes formés afin de limiter les accidents de circulation.
We now revisit the Award of Excellence, which took place over the weekend. The 10th anniversary and edition of the Scoop Media Award took place in Boya over the weekend. The event witnessed the recognition of some media houses, personalities, and individuals for their devotion and impactful efforts in the society. Details with Kuma Honorembo.
The CEO of the Scope Media, Larry Asong, has called on laureates of the Scope Media Award 2020 not to relent their efforts in impacting the society, as their nomination came as a result of their contribution in nation building. He was speaking during the 10th edition of the Scope Media Award, which took place in Boya over the weekend. Amongst the laureates recognized were Divine Eta Kengande, Country Director of Agro Produce Management Services, as Best Manager for Sustainable Cocoa Production in Cameroon for 2020. He was represented by his wife, who received the award in his honor. Going by the Communication Officer for AMS Cameroon, for true clearance, the award is a call for the country's director to do more.
There are a lot of strides we've been able to achieve in the course of the year 2020. You know, it was a difficult year where many companies had to lay off workers. Some people had to reduce salaries. A lot of difficulties came in the course of the year, but AMS was able to increase the number of workers. We're able to increase the quantity of cocoa we bought. We're able to increase the quantity of cocoa we exported. We're able to certify more farmers, and I think AMS was able to do a lot.
Mayor Tonde Lifanje Gabriel of Edinau Council was crowned as the best mayor for 2020 for the developmental strides in his municipality. It should be noted that Edinau Council singles out as the only council in Fako division which has paid workers' salary and has provided social amenities such as potable water, solar lights, and good roads to link up the municipality.
I want to say that this award is for all of the Edinau Council, because I did not work alone. I had to work with my deputy mayors, my co-executives and staff to achieve this wonderful award.
Chief Mbake Martin Kmer of Kmer village was equally recognized as the philanthropist of the year for taking good care of IDPs in his community.
When the crisis came, the crisis of Cameroon came, I had many IDPs, so I tried to help them. And even the construction of the stadium in Kmer, I was the person who poured libation, so there was no accident in that construction.
Other laureates included Associate Professor Dr. Kingsley Lyunga Lalange of the University of Boya as Best Journalism Trainer for 2020, Wilson Da Costa Bisson of WDC Hotel as the Man of the Year for 2020, Prosper Menko as Best Gospel Singer 2020, just to mention but these few.
My Major Prime TV was equally awarded in the category of Most Rapidly Growing Television Channel 2020, and one of its programs, political programs, Prime R, was awarded the 2020 Most Interactive TV program. Away from that, contrary to claims that the man who killed a 31-year-old Cameroonian lady in Bologna, Italy, was part of the army, Communication Director at the Ministry of Defense has confirmed the said individual was not unknown to the army. He was a soldier dismissed from the ranks of the Defense Force since December 2015. He was dismissed following investigations carried out that revealed he was a man of questionable character and had in several occasions been sanctioned for gross violation of military ethics and discipline, as well as other immoral acts capable of undermining military honor and dignity. MINDEF, however, distances itself from the individual and debunks claims that he was an active member of the Cameroonian army. Commemorated under the theme Follow the Data, Invest in Midwives, this year's International Midwife Day aims not only at appreciating and encouraging the efforts of midwives in and out of the country, it is also a time to invest in quality midwifery care around the world, improving maternal, child and adolescent health in and out of the country. Details with Bokengo Kemia Worthy.
The day is set aside to reflect on the unique and significant contributions midwives make daily across the globe to save the lives of women and babies.
It's a day where we can reflect on the unique contribution that our midwives make to women and their families. It's also a day where all of you can reflect on your own contribution and the contribution of your colleagues around you. Midwives have passion in abundance, and that's what makes them so good at what they do. Giving women the support that they need to bring new life into the world, and to families in coming together at such a wonderful time of their lives.
Every 2 minutes, one woman dies from preventable causes related to pregnancy and childbirth. Though midwives could deliver up to 90% of essential maternal newborn care for a lifespan, they account for less than 10% of the global care workforce and faces more challenges than one, especially in Cameroon.
One of the major challenges faced by midwives in Cameroon is the aspect of work overload, which is related to decreased human resource. When we have this aspect of work overload, it leads to work-related anxiety, stress, and fatigue, all of which will result in decreased job performances and decreased job satisfaction.
It should be borne in mind that
the government could resolve these challenges is to invest in midwives. One way is to increase the number of trainings of midwives in Cameroon, which the government is already doing. Another is to absorb more midwives into the system, which will increase the number of midwives practicing in our various health facilities. Another way is to increase the minimum packages offered to all midwives in all sectors in Cameroon.
Worthy of note is the fact that investing in training midwives can save the lives of about 4.3 million mothers and babies yearly. On the celebration of World Midwives Day, the world applauded the role of midwives in empowering women to make the best decision or choices for themselves and their babies.
It's time for sports news with the topic content in the French language.
Coton Sport de Garoua et Colombe Dunja ont fait match nul hier, mercredi 5 mai 2021, avec un but partout au stade annexe numéro 1 de Yaoundé, dans le cadre du championnat camerounais Elite One, un match en retard, 9e journée du groupe B. Dans le classement, les cotonculteurs occupent la 2e position avec 13 points, derrière Canon de Yaoundé qui emmagasine 16 points, premier du pool. Colombe, quant à lui, est 9e dans le classement avec à son actif 6 points devant New Star, qui est dernier avec 4 points. En rappel, dimanche dernier, Coton Sport a dominé ce club de New Star sur un score d'1-0, toujours en match en retard, mais de la 7e journée. Parlons à présent de la Ligue des Champions. Chelsea, après avoir fait un match nul avec un but partout lors de la demi-finale, manche aller avec Real de Madrid le 27 avril dernier au stade d'Alfredo Di Stefano. Le club anglais a fortement écrasé son adversaire hier avec 2-0 en match retour au Stamford Bridge Stadium. Le premier but est marqué à la 28e minute par Winner et le second à la 85e minute par Mount. Ainsi, les finalistes sont connus. Chelsea contre Manchester City. Cette rencontre aura lieu le 29 mai de cette année. La finale est purement anglaise. Les supporters, les joueurs manifestent leur joie dans les rues malgré le contexte de la crise sanitaire qui prévaut. L'homme du match de cette demi-finale de la Champions League, N'Golo Kanté, de la nationalité française, mais d'origine malienne.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Prime News. See you tomorrow at 6:30. God willing, for another edition. My name is Genda Belgian Blanche King. Stay tuned. Prime Eye is coming up next, and after Prime Eye, we'll have Prime Sport. Happy viewing and good night.